Hello there, how are you? Lyrin Haddock here with another edition of Worth the Buy here on Bearded Budget Media. Now this week, following Mrs. Haddock and the young fry watching the Minecraft movie and with WrestleMania this weekend, it's time to jump on the bandwagon and hit an oft-forgotten comedy from Jack Black's numerous credits. So let's mask up, look after the niños, and fly from the top rope, and let's dive on to Nacho Libre. Before I start, I'll apologise in advance for my pronunciations. Now, Nacho Libre follows Ignacio, an orphan boy raised at a monastery orphanage with a love of lucha wrestling. Years later, he's still at the orphanage, but working as their cook, feeding the niños slop as it's all they can afford. Following being mugged by the street thief Steven, he chooses to disregard the monastery rules and become a luchador to earn money to provide for the children. It follows your very generic sports movie storyline, but at the same time, it's also based on a true story. We'll get to that a little later. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. It really helps the channel and shows some love for some underrated or oft forgotten gems.
Hug, hug. Geese, geese. Hug, hug. Big geese. Little hug. Geese, geese. Little geese.
Now, this is a film that, if I remember rightly, caused a bit of an uproar at the time for the casting of Jack Black in the lead role of a Mexican orphan. Jack Black even stated that when him and Jared Hess were coming up with the idea that he was unsure about playing a Mexican. But it was Hess that put it, Ignacio is a gringo orphan. His mother was Scandinavian and his father was Mexican. Shocker, right? Someone being born in a country to a parent not from that country. On another note, the film was completely filmed in Mexico, and as you can see, a large majority of the cast in particular are Mexican, from extras through to the main characters, and for quite a few it does appear to have opened doors to further opportunities. So let's dive into the cast in this forgotten gem. First up, we've got Nacho himself, Ignacio, played by Jack Black, as the orphan monastery cook with dreams of becoming a luchador. Now I know a lot of people have issues with Jack Black, but I personally quite enjoy him. Pick a Destiny is a fun film, as is this. He's idolised by our kids, and our youngest first ever concert was seeing Tenacious D live. I find this film one of his better ones.
But these are my recreation clothes. But tonight, we are going up against Satan's cavemen. And I just thought it would be a good idea if you... Felicidades.
Here's Mugger, who becomes his tag partner, the street urchin Steven, who wrestles as Esquilito, played by Hector Jimenez, who is one of the best bits of this film in all honesty. Looking through, it appears that this is one of his few English language films alongside Epic Movie, Wild Hogs, Yo Gabba Gabba, and Sharktopus.
I don't believe in God. I believe in science.
Yep, Sharktopus.
They cut my hairs, okay? I look hideous. Come on, baby. I'm sick of hearing about your stupid orphans. What did you just say? I hate orphans.
The antagonist of the piece is Ramses, the gold-adorned lucha champion played by real-life wrestler Silver King, who unfortunately passed away following a heart attack at a match in London in the UK in 2019, which, reading that, instantly made me flash back to the fact Yokozuna died, I believe, of a heart attack, again when he was in the UK in the latter end of his career. Strange.
Ramses is the number one. His legs are number one.
Nacho's love interest is the new nun sent to the monastery, Sister Encarnacion, played by the absolutely stunning Ana de la Reguera. This appearing to be her first Hollywood production, but was not her last, moving on to things like Cop Out, Cowboys and Aliens, and the animated The Book of Life.
You went to watch a wrestling match?
Kind of.
You're a man of the cloth. Lucha Libre, it's a sin.
There are some additional surprises within the cast as well, from first films to legends hiding in plain sight. First up is young Ignacio, played by the same actor who was young Jack Black in The Pick of Destiny, Troy Gentile. One of the Niños, who was pointed out to me by my daughter, is, now I'm gonna butcher his name, Moises Arias, this being his first feature film. Now, you may recognise him straight away, or maybe not. He's Bonzo in Ender's Game and Norm MacLean in Amazon's Fallout series, but many people may recognise him as Rico Suave from Hannah Montana.
How do you know him?
He's the best. No, he's not.
Peter Stormare shows up randomly for a great little cameo as Emperor, the local magic man who helps Nacho by setting him a task. I mentioned a legend hidden in plain sight, and that being a retired wrestler in the film being Sergio Gutierrez Benitez, also known as Fray Tormenta, Friar Storm in English. He's the man this film is based on, the man who went from drug and alcohol addict to a priest who taught philosophy and history, to then founder of the orphanage. Okay, I'm gonna go for this, but I am also gonna put it on screen. La Casa Hogar de los Cachorros de Fray Tormenta, where, in need of money, he would become the masked wrestler Fray Tormenta, even inspiring one of his children to take up the title, meaning Fray Tormenta can live on. In 2012, he officially gave his blessing to the second incarnation of Mystico, who is currently with AEW, I believe, under the ring name Dralistico, and he is the brother of WWE wrestler Dragon Lee, stablemate in the LWO with the legend that is Rey Mysterio. I've said this before about films. Is this the greatest film ever made? No. Is it the worst film ever made? Definitely not. Is it a fun 90 minutes or so, especially to watch with the family? Hell yeah, it is. I mean, with it being Jared Hess, I think people expected another Napoleon Dynamite type thing, but don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Napoleon Dynamite. Did I find it as mind-blowing as so many people seem to have? No. It's kind of like me and Clerks. I enjoy it, but it just doesn't blow me away like it seems to with others. Is the story of Nacho Libre a bit generic sports underdog story? Sure. But have not all the highly praised sports movies and comedies had the same thing? Mighty Ducks, Longest Yard, Stroke Mean Machine, Happy Gilmore, even sports biopics. The list goes on and on.
Keeps going and going and going and going. Nothing outlasts me.
But anything that is created to honour a man who turned his life around and still runs the orphanage he founded at 79 should be watched. The music within Nacho Libre is absolutely top-notch. A great use of Mr. Loco with the song Hombre Religioso, translated to Religious Man, and a song I've been singing a certain catchy segment of. Just that little earworm. But it did pain me to read that Paramount was against the director's choice to be in charge of the film's music. Jared Hess chose Beck. Paramount didn't think his style fit the film, so brought in Danny Elfman. Now, I love Danny Elfman's work over the years. He's scored some absolute greats. The thing I was pained to read was that his representatives wanting him to have sole credit, and it ended up having to be negotiated with the studio. I mean, not cool, dude. So there we have it, another worth the buy here on Bearded Budget Media. A great rainy Sunday afternoon feel-good film to watch with or without the family. So if you see it out and about or on streaming, give it a watch. I've been Laren Haddock. Catch you next time.
Your only job is to cook. Do you not realize I have had diarrhea since Easter's?
Get that cone out of my face!
Go now, so that sister and I may talk of holy things.